Hey, what's good? This the Walker Bar for Black Authentic Truth. And I've seen the story about Florida, man. And this place is off the chain. Now, Florida is saying they want to teach in their school system that slaves benefited from slavery. They gained skills and trades from slavery. Now, Desantis said it like this. He said, now, these skills that they learned would later on parlay into something that they did in their life later on. It would transform, right? Now, we know black people, they cook, they clean, they wash the clothes, they build things, they were carpenters, they were blacksmiths, they built, the shacks, they, plowed the fields, all of these different things to keep these plantations running. Now, so are you telling me that if, I fried chicken, that would later parlay or transform into me owning a fried chicken spot? Or if I, did all the agriculture, that would later on parlay into me owning a farm? Or washing clothes would later on parlay into owning a laundromat? Now, you know that is not true, and it could never had happened, because even when black people took their skills out of slavery and built towns 10, 11 years after getting out of slavery, it always got burned down. They came and burnt it down. So the idea, it's so diabolical, and it's so, evil to say something like that. And it just shows you that they don't want to look at their history. They don't want to look at the stain of slavery, because it's so ugly. And it had anything or the worst thing you could think of has it written in slavery. I mean, terrorism, the Holocaust. I mean, war crimes. These things are all combined when you think about what happened in chattel slavery, and even what happened after slavery. The era of the Ku Klux Klan, the Jim Crow, the burning crosses in front of churches, blowing churches up. Things of that nature, all of those things in that long sequence of historical events, that stain, they don't want to look at it. So they try to find some way to make themselves look like the hero. It's always that they have to insert themselves as the hero, even when they've been both. They've been the villain and the hero. It's such an ugly stain from that history that they have to flip the switch and make it look like, it was beneficial. It wasn't that bad. Kind of like when I used to read in social study class about the Native Indians, and it would describe them as being savages that needed to be tamed. When you do real history, you realize that Native Indians were not savages, but you got this viewpoint from those couple of paragraphs or pages that they were the savages and the Europeans were the civilized, God-fearing people. So that's what I see here. It's just another attempt to, not only make themselves look great, but also it's a kind of like a form of history oppression, because it is not fair to blot out our history and make our history look like something it wasn't, and we don't have no say-so in it. That's what oppression is. A lot of racists, a lot of white supremacists always say that black people are not oppressed. You're not oppressed. You got Oprah Winfrey, you got Jill Scott, you got Michael Jordan. You're not oppressed. You're not oppressed, when they don't even know the definition of oppression. Oppression is unfair treatment from a government or a force. Something where you don't have any control. And this is a form of oppression. You understand? And so it just shows you, man, they really don't care. They have never changed in reality. So in my opinion, this is a disrespect to what my ancestors went through. This is a disrespect to us, to those of us who love and remember our ancestors and know what they went through. We're going to have to teach our children the truth. The hell with what the educational system is doing, or how they want to teach about slavery in our history. It's up to us to teach our history and to continue to teach our people. And see, this is a prime example why something like Black Authentic Truth even exists. because people get upset, and even black people get upset. Or why are you always talking about history, the history of slavery? Well, this is a good reason. What's happening in Florida? This is a perfect example of what is happening in Florida, of why we should never forget. We should always continue to talk about it, because there's always somebody that wants to change the story. They want to change the narrative, and they would rather forget about the ugliness and the stain that slavery has on American history. So let me know what you think about this video. Give me your thoughts and your opinions. And with that, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the truth, the deeper the roots. You already know. This is Black Authentic Truth.